There are moments in life when the weight feels unbearable, when everything you believed in seems to fall apart, and you are left wondering if you will ever feel whole again. In those moments, the world feels quiet, but inside, your mind is loud with questions, doubts, and pain. I want you to know something before we begin. Feeling broken does not mean you are weak. It means you have lived, you have cared, you have risked, and you have loved. It means you have been brave enough to face life fully, even when it hurt. And if you listen closely, you will discover that what feels like the end is often the very beginning. There will come a moment in life when you feel shattered not just physically, but deep in your soul. You wake up and the weight of the world feels too heavy. The dreams you once carried in your heart feel like ashes in your hands, and you ask yourself, how do I go on? But remember this, the bamboo bends in the storm, yet it does not break. The river crashes against the rocks, yet it keeps flowing. You too are built for resilience. Being broken is not the end. It is the beginning of becoming unbreakable. Pain is a sculptor. It carves away the parts of you that no longer serve your highest self. Loss is a teacher. It shows you the value of what truly matters. Failure is a guide. It redirects you toward a truer path. Do not hide from your brokenness. Hold it in your hands and look closely. You will see the cracks filled with gold, like the Japanese art of kintsugi. Every scar you carry is proof that you survived. So when you feel broken, take one more step and then another. Because healing doesn't come in a single day, it comes in every moment you choose not to give up. You are not broken beyond repair. You are simply being reshaped into the strongest version of yourself. Pain is temporary. Growth is permanent. When you are in the middle of your struggle, it feels endless. The sleepless nights, the silent tears, the moments when your chest feels so heavy that even breathing becomes a task. Your mind whispers that this pain will last forever, but that is an illusion. Pain is like a passing storm. It might rage violently, shaking every part of your life, but no storm has ever lasted forever. Clouds will part, light will return, and you will see that the world is still standing, and so are you. What remains after the storm is not the pain itself, but the change it brings within you. When you endure hardship, your perspective shifts. You begin to see life differently, with more gratitude for peace, with more strength to face the unknown. It is in these moments of deep suffering that you are stretched beyond your limits. And in that stretching, something permanent forms: resilience, wisdom, and the quiet confidence that you can survive more than you ever imagined. Pain may visit your life again, but each time it does, it will find you stronger, wiser, and more grounded than before. Because while pain fades, the growth it leaves behind stays with you for the rest of your life. Resilience is built in hardship. True resilience is not something you are born with. It is something life forges within you. It is not built in moments of comfort, but in the fire of adversity, when the winds of life push you to the ground, and yet you find the strength to rise again. That is resilience taking root. Think of the bamboo. It bends under the weight of the storm, but it does not snap. It sways, it yields, but it holds its ground. In the same way, when challenges press against you, you may feel shaken, but it does not mean you are broken. It means you are learning how to adapt without losing yourself. Hardship tests you in ways nothing else can. It strips away the unnecessary, revealing what is essential. It teaches you patience when the road is long, and discipline when the path is steep. Each trial is a silent training ground where your mental and emotional endurance are sharpened. Without hardship, strength remains untested. Without struggle, inner power remains dormant. Life's difficulties may feel like an attack, but in truth, they are shaping you into someone who cannot be easily defeated. Resilience is not about avoiding the storm. It is about becoming the kind of person who can stand within it and still find the way forward. Every scar tells a story. Scars are often seen as marks of weakness, but in truth they are the exact opposite. A scar means you faced something that could have destroyed you, and yet you survived. It means you endured pain, you walked through the fire, and you emerged with proof that you did not give up. Every scar carries a story, a chapter in the book of your life that speaks of resilience, courage, and endurance. Some scars are visible on the body, others are hidden deep within the heart and mind. The external ones remind you of battles fought in the physical world. The internal ones hold the lessons learned in the quiet struggles no one else saw. When you look at your scars, you might remember the pain that created them. But if you look deeper, you will also see the strength that was born from that pain. They are not there to remind you of how you were hurt. They are there to remind you of how you healed. Scars do not make you less beautiful. They make you unique. They are the map of where you've been, the evidence of what you've overcome, and the symbols of the warrior you have become. Just as the Japanese art of kintsugi repairs broken pottery with gold, your scars can be seen as the golden lines that highlight your life's most defining moments. Brokenness is a beginning when life shatters you. It feels like the end. The dreams you held dear slip through your fingers, the relationships you thought would last fall apart, and the version of yourself you once knew seems to vanish. In that moment, it's easy to believe that your story has reached its final chapter. But brokenness is not the end, it is the quiet birth of something new. Just as a seed must crack open before it can grow into a tree, sometimes you must break before you can rise into the person you were meant to be. The pieces of you that fall away are often the ones that were holding you back. Old fears, limiting beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve your growth. It is in these moments of being broken that you are given the rare opportunity to rebuild, this time with intention. You no longer move blindly through life. You see with clarity what matters and what doesn't. The person who rises from brokenness is not the same as the one who fell. They are wiser, stronger, and more aligned with their true purpose. The truth is, you cannot transform without breaking. The caterpillar must dissolve into nothing before becoming a butterfly. The night must end before the sun can rise, and you must sometimes fall apart before you can step fully into your power. Lessons hide in loss. Loss is one of the most difficult teachers you will ever face. It takes from you without asking. It leaves you standing in silence, holding empty spaces where something precious once existed. And yet, within that emptiness, lessons quietly wait for you to discover them. When you lose something, a relationship, an opportunity, a dream, it feels as if a part of you has been torn away. The pain is raw, and the mind constantly replays the what-ifs and if-onlys. But with time, you begin to see that loss has a way of revealing truths you could not have learned otherwise. Loss teaches you about impermanence, that nothing in life is truly guaranteed, and that is what makes it valuable. It teaches you gratitude, to cherish the moments and people you have now, because they will not always be there. It teaches you self-reliance, that even when what you depended on disappears, you can still stand, you can still move forward. Sometimes loss redirects you. It closes a door that you would never have had the courage to close yourself, guiding you toward a path that was always meant for you but hidden from sight. And though the pain of loss never fully disappears, the wisdom it leaves behind becomes a permanent part of who you are. Loss may break your heart, but it also sharpens your vision. It strips away illusions and teaches you to see life with clearer eyes and a deeper appreciation for the things that truly matter. Healing comes step by step. When you are hurting, you want the pain to disappear instantly. You want to wake up one morning and find the weight lifted, the wounds closed, the mind calm. But healing is not a sudden miracle. It is a slow, deliberate process. It happens not in great leaps, but in small, almost invisible steps. Think of a tree that was damaged in a storm. It does not grow back overnight. It rebuilds itself quietly cell by cell, branch by branch, until one day, without realizing it, it stands strong again. Your healing works the same way. Each small act of self-care is a step forward. Getting out of bed when you feel like hiding from the world, that is healing. Speaking kindly to yourself instead of feeding yourself doubt, that is healing. Choosing to try again after a setback, that too is healing. Some days the steps will be so small that they seem meaningless, but when you look back, you will see that those small steps formed the bridge that carried you out of the darkness. Healing does not demand that you be perfect. It only asks that you keep moving, and though the progress may be slow, every step is proof that you are not staying in the same place where you were hurt. You are moving toward a version of yourself that is stronger, calmer, and more whole than before. Your value is not reduced by struggle when life becomes heavy. It's easy to believe that your worth has diminished. You may look at your failures, your mistakes, your broken moments, and think, I am less than I once was. But your value does not disappear because you have been through hardship. In truth, it often increases. Struggle refines you, just as pressure turns coal into diamonds. The challenges you face reveal the depth of your character. You might carry scars, you might walk with a slower step, but none of that makes you less worthy. In fact, it is the evidence that you have lived, learned, and endured. The world may sometimes judge you by your current circumstances, but those circumstances do not define your value. A cracked vase can still hold water, a weathered tree can still bear fruit, and a person who has struggled can still offer love, kindness, and wisdom to others. Your worth is not measured by how perfect your journey looks, but by the courage you show in walking it. The tears you've shed, the nights you've endured, the storms you've faced, they do not take away from who you are. They add depth to your story and richness to your soul. Never believe that hardship has made you less. If anything, it has made you more compassionate, more understanding, more human. Your value was never dependent on being untouched by life. It was always rooted in the fact that you exist, you breathe, and you keep going despite it all. So, when you find yourself in the dark, remember this. The same pressure that can crush you can also shape you. The same storms that bend you can also teach you how to stand. You are not the cracks you carry, you are the light that shines through them. And every step you take, no matter how small, is proof that you are more than your pain. One day, you will look back and realize the moment you thought you were breaking was the moment you were becoming whole.